Hey, everybody. How are you? Look who I have here. The other Star Wars geek, the guy who makes me look like I don't know anything.
Where am I?
Do you not see yourself?
I just went gray, didn't I?
You did.
You're not Gonzo.
No. Oh, no.
No. All right.
No, hold on. Let me start. Hold on 1 second. Okay, hold on. This is a book I have here, How to Speak Like Ricky Ricardo and Annoy Bob. So welcome, everybody. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Krista Knoxville. What's going on? Hey, Happily Ever Yachty. And Disinfinity. Daniel, what's going down? Just Jesse's here. And thanks for joining us. We're going to have a conversation with Chris from Addy Family Adventures. And Chris and I have never really had a chance to sit down and do one of these kinds of things where we've been in a few other streams.
Yeah.
One where he didn't get a chance to say anything. The infamous, how are we going to plan out a Booze Fest on Gonzo's channel.
And I was in there, and I'm not even going to be on there now. So,
well, you're not missing much,
right?
Because Gonzo and I were just talking about it today. We're adults now, right? Okay,
right.
So we're not frat kids.
Right.
You got jobs, you got work, you got all this other things. If me and Gonzo if you came down here and me and Gonzo just met at some restaurant and ended up drinking too much because we were just, having a good night and everything. Yeah. That's one thing.
Yeah.
But when you're at home in the middle of life responsibilities, people are dropping like flies out of this competition. Oh, I got to work. Oh, I got to do this. So actually, Gonzo and I were trying to think of alternatives to this. And if anybody has any opinions on that, one of the things was we actually thought of the pie thing. The thing that I did.
Right. Let's just here. Let me be honest.
Yeah.
All right. I did say it had to do with work. All right.
You didn't want to drink.
No. All right.
Is that orange soda or is that really booze?
I was going to cheat and I felt bad about it.
No. Don't worry about it. I definitely. Well, because there's no way. Katrina was like, with your meds, you're gonna die.
I already admitted it to Kelly. I already admitted it to Gonzo, and I was like, yeah, I was gonna cheat. My brother had this. I told him what I needed, and he took water and he added some flavoring to it and got the right color. Is what he did for me. I feel bad that he did that for me, and then I didn't even pull it off. But I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to watch that live streaming again just so I can act out being drunk. And I'm like, yeah. And then I feel bad because you guys were doing it for a good cause, and here I was cheating. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it. I'm gonna have to back out.
Well, it was getting weird. So on Gonzo's on Gonzo's channel on Thursday, tomorrow night at 10:30, we're going to talk about how we're going to reorganize it. Right. Because I wimped out before anybody. Basically, I was going to let my wife tap me out.
Right.
If I started to drink too much, and then the rest of the group started feeling bad for me. Like, what are we gonna do? If this is going to be like international news? Bob's going to like croak as we're live streaming. No, we don't want you to drink at all. And
all the money we just raised is going to Bob's funeral.
I know. So, I mean, that'd be one of the okay. All right.
But here's the thing.
We're going to talk about the drinking tomorrow. Right. You can still drink as we discuss it.
So, even though it is flavored water, the cinnamon taste is still there. That's the second swig I took off of that. I actually took a swig off of it before I told Gonzo. So
Okay, the show is tomorrow. We're trying to figure out if there's some other things we could do besides just drinking, like pies in the face, taking a pie and everything. Bob got you covered. Mike was going to take your place. So that's what Gonzo and I discussed.
Hard-boiled eggs.
I should go get a beer just for this right now. Be the first interview I had. Well, okay. I'm going to wear a costume tomorrow. I don't know how involved it's going to be.
Right.
And maybe I'll sip on a beer as we're talking, but Mike and I both have costumes. But we were getting a little bit over the top.
Right.
And I think it's okay when you do it informally, but and who knows? I mean, I don't know exactly why Gonzo was saying that. Maybe Pete doesn't really want us going into a coma to raise money for his medical bills because we might need the money for our own medical bills.
Well,
I don't know.
I think some of it may have been that it's kind of distasteful as well because of drinking on live. With you got midlife vibe, and it's just something that happened to start with them, and then it kind of caught over with Gonzo. And this is us actually planning a show around it. So that was probably what the problem was.
Well, VP has been trying to grab hold of this a little bit because, all right, so what happened? So he's feeling this one-upmanship thing going on. All right, so there's been drinking and then more and more drinking streams. And then he got a cupcake in the face. Then I got a pie in the face. Right. And he's like, we can't just... Bob gets beaten with the side of beef, and then we're going to jump across a canyon in a motorcycle, and so that they're trying to... Well, anyway, welcome to the stream, and I usually have up this whole musical chair sort of thing behind me of green screens that kind of guide me on my way. Now I have a Post-it note. Of the major things. So it's right here. But it's because I actually had some really good news today on a possible prospect for a Disney job, being a laid off cast member. And I'd really love to possibly get this position. And so my resume was all messed up and I had to revise it. And then Disney has this extensive sort of an online application too. So it literally took me like all day. It was crazy.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Adventures of Gonzo. What are you doing here,
hey,
you crazy Puerto Rican? So now that I started talking about what we may or may not be doing tomorrow, all the people involved are all going, what? Are we drinking? Are we not? Are we dressing up? So I've already caused chaos, and there's only two people here. 1 and 2. Other way. Not 45. See, I could do it with one person. Actually, we could both go off, and you could just hear my audio, and we could still cause a riot. Hump Day. So welcome, Tony Stark. Welcome, Birdwell. Don't worry, Birdwell. We will talk about it, and it will work out for us.
Tomorrow, when you're talking about it, you can wear costumes and still drink. There you go.
That's true. I'm going to drink beer tomorrow just for the heck of it. Some cheap beer, cheap high-gravity beer, but not a lot. And in my little favorite Mandalorian koozie. And I will probably do something... I don't think it's going to be... I have another cool hat. I have that cool hat from the park. That's the Revolutionary War leather tri-corner hat that has the Jack Sparrow dreads coming out from under it, and the beads and the bandana.
Right.
So that, if you think this looks weird, Indiana Jones with glasses, you should see what the Jack Sparrow version of me with glasses looks like.
I just thought you were like the... Indy's father wearing his clothes. That's what I thought it was.
I wish I could do a Sean Connery.
You just need to do Sean Connery. That's it.
Junior, I can't do it. I can't do it.
You know what?
We said no hats in the rules. All right, no hats.
I have one of those things where just every once in a while I'm just messing around and saying things, and there's been a time I've been able to hit a Sean Connery voice.
Really?
But it's not something I can just call up. I mean, I have certain voices I can do. I can call up right away. Sometimes I have to hear the voice and able to do it, but I don't know. I mean, I think some of the people in the stream have seen some of my comment videos where I actually did voices while I was doing the comments. So
it's my favorite redhead, Kelly from the Mickey Bunch, who I was just messaging to. Thank you so much for today, Kelly. I love the heck out of you. Can't spell, haha. Chris, who is your favorite Puerto Rican YouTuber?
I don't know any Puerto Ricans.
Actually, you know what? We should get on Google right now and try to find a few, just so we could put them at the bottom of the list.
Gonzo, aren't you an American citizen, Gonzo? I think that makes you American.
I'm just kidding, Bob. I think your ring light may burn that shiny. I do not have ring lights, actually. I have these two big soft lights that look like that.
Yeah, that's what I have.
They're like the big neon tube in the boxes. And a lot of people have the cheapest way, I think, to get going is to do what my wife is doing. My wife just wanted a nicer, she does all these Disney Zoom type meetings. So you have the green screen that just fits right over your chair, and it's just a big circle behind you. And then she has one ring light right here that's probably about this big.
Right. And
the thing about her ring light that I like, though, is she actually has different settings on it. So especially for women, ring lights are so soft, they're attractive, and they look good in your eyes.
Right.
But they have ring lights like my wife's where you can change the color temperature. And hers, she puts on a magic hour, a sunset, sunrise all the time. And yeah, it's very attractive.
Right.
Of
course, Gonzo, you're my favorite Puerto Rican YouTuber.
The blueberry chair bubble. Hey, George, the Mickey Mouse. Mike Shelt, hi, Bob. Hi, Mike. What's going on? How are you? I wish you were here. I'm going to see you when you come down here. If Sam's Grotto opens up at the Polynesian, we will go. I miss that place a lot. If you haven't been to Sam's Grotto, amazing place that's like going to the Enchanted Tiki Room, and the people who serve the drinks, these big expensive drinks, and you can buy the souvenir mugs, come out, and it's very themed. They come out in a mask and blowing bubbles and all kinds of stuff.
I think what was it? Olga's Cantina kind of come off to something like that. Yep.
Yes, they're starting to do that too. Wow, they are tricky. Look like I had blue eyeshadow in my last show. I think it looked like you did too, actually. Was that the reason? You mean you weren't wearing blue eyeshadow? All right. So, Chris, tell us my favorite thing. This is episode 26. It started, the very first one was with Walt from Mouse Talk.
Okay.
Second one was Disney Dan. And we've sort of progressed on through people basically that I really wanted to get to know.
Right.
And started to get to know you. And I'd like to know a little bit more. Tell us as much as you care to tell us about yourself before we get to the channel at all, even.
Okay. Let's see. Things that it's funny because Dole Whip Daddy always says there's three things that are interesting about me, and it's funny. Me and Dole Whip's dad share all the same interesting things. I was adopted. Mm-hmm. Let's see. I'm partially colorblind, and I don't remember what the third one was.
And I have a short-term memory problem.
I don't have a very good memory. No. Obviously, I have a very good memory when it comes to certain things. So, but no,
we share that. We share a good. We share the details of weird things. But what's your phone number?
Right. Well, the thing is since we came out with this, you don't have to remember anybody's phone numbers. Right. But I remember back in the day where you had to remember all the phone numbers and able to call or remember to call people. Yep. But yeah. So let's see. Oh, so I grew up in a small town in Indiana. Still live here. The small town sits on the state line of Indiana and Ohio. I live on the Indiana side. Um, let's see. I joined the Indiana National Guard at 19. I retired from the Indiana National Guard in 2001. I served in Bosnia and Iraq. And
Thank you for your service.
Yep. And then trying to think. Oh, I should have said that. I married my wife when I was 23, and we had our daughter about 4 or 5 months after we got married. So it turns out that my wife got pregnant the night I proposed to her. Who would have known that would have happened?
Good timing. Good timing.
So I proposed. I was actually was going to give her engagement ring to her for Christmas, and I couldn't wait and gave it to her early. So obviously I gave her more than just an engagement ring that night too. So.
Apparently, unless wow, that's cool.
Which was kind of hard to tell her her grandmother that we weren't getting married because she was pregnant, because that's what it looked like. Right. But other thing, I got 2 daughters, obviously. One is Heaven. She works down there as a cast member at Walt Disney World. Haley, who still lives at home. She's looking to move out, and she works at a, I guess you want to say a seniors home.
Okay, so it's Heaven and Haley are your daughters?
Heaven and Haley are my daughters, yes.
Okay.
And then my wife is Margie.
Margie.
Yes.
What's the age difference between your 2 daughters?
There is 6 years in between them.
Really?
So,
okay.
yes.
So who's the older one? The one
Heaven
with the glasses, or the one not with?
They actually both wear glasses.
Oh, dude! So in the picture for Addy Family Adventures, I'm like,
that's
the
Haley.
same.
Haley is wearing the glasses. So
okay.
Heaven wears contacts. So.
Okay.
Which is funny because both me and my wife's vision's starting to fade, but we both have. What's funny is, so I come from a family of 4 siblings. I'm the oldest. She comes from a family of 4 children. She's the oldest. And both of us were the only ones out of both family not to wear glasses. So
interesting.
Yes.
I'm starting to have, my vision is getting ridiculous. So I just got bifocals now, right?
Right.
Which just makes you feel old. And then, I get the regular prescription sunglasses because I'm like,
right.
I don't need bifocal sunglasses.
Right.
Well, try live streaming and then reading the chat.
Right.
With non-bifocals when you need them. And it's bright and it's dark. So you look at you've got your eyes contracting and
right.
And expanding, and you're looking over the dark glasses to see the chat.
Right.
So nope. I'm Mr. I need ifocals all the way around now.
Well, I think maybe my vision might be going a little bit. I still have 20/20 vision, but when I go to get my eyes tested, I'm a little blurry in one. So when I drive, I have to have mirrors on both sides. It says on my driver's license. So
really,
yeah,
because of that one eye.
Yes, because of one eye. Yep. But then you go to hearing, and I'm just a little bit deaf in my left ear, and that's from everything I did in the military. So
cool. I'm not really familiar with Indiana so much.
But yeah, you dress like Indiana Jones.
Well, I've gone to Indianapolis.
Right.
I've gone to the state.
That's where I was born.
City.
I was born in Indianapolis. Yep.
Interesting. And then you've been in Indiana for how long then?
I've been here all my life, except for when I deployed. Obviously, I lived in Bosnia and Iraq for a year. So, and then for about a few months, I was down in Mississippi and Louisiana for Hurricane Katrina, the post or afterwards. So, right. And I truly say, without my time in the military, there's a lot of stuff I would have missed. I would have never got to meet the dream team back in '97. I wouldn't have the house I have right now if it wasn't for them. I wouldn't have gone places I go. My grandmother, before she passed away, she was always like, "Chris, you've been all around the world." And I'm like, "But you don't understand, Grandma. they send you places you don't want to go.
Yeah, no kidding. Where there's problems.
Yeah. And if it's a nice place, they find the baddest part of the nice place to
exactly.
put you.
Yeah, you don't go into the tourist area.
No.
Hey, welcome, Aladdin. Thanks for dropping by. And Jonathan Chong, thanks for coming to the stream. Let's see. Nathan Rita, how are you? Tony Stark and Birdwell, thanks for joining in. Happily Ever Yachty, please go and check out her stream. T. Marie or Cheeks, go check out her stream. She does some very interesting she has some very interesting discussions about books, especially some real cool ones. She's been doing some James Bond stuff recently. I guess it was His Majesty's Secret Service. Disinfinity, he's ripping it up. A young man has got about 30 trillion subscribers now. All right, maybe not 30 trillion, but maybe like 12,000 maybe.
We could get all 30 trillion of those people to donate $1. We could pay off the deficit. See,
he's a smart guy too. He didn't even. So you're a mailman, I guess, right?
Yeah. I actually,
cool.
I was a TCA when I started back in July.
Right.
And that was a position.
What's a TCA?
It's a temporary carrier assistant. And what it was created for COVID because obviously the mail system was hit by it. Somehow I don't know if I can't get COVID because I've been around it, but I've never had anything with me. I always thought maybe it was all the stuff they injected me with in the military, but I've had military friends who've got it, so I don't think that might be right. So I've been carrying since July. The beginning of this year, I converted it over to a CCA, which was where I had to take a break in service. So because I took a break in service, we came down there for Walt Disney World for that 1 week we were down there. So
right.
But
cool. Very cool. And then you were just at Disney recently, right? Like a month ago, a few weeks ago. When's the last time you were at Disney? You were just here with your family, like 3 weeks ago. Something
it was. We came back on the 16th. So,
okay.
Yeah.
16th of
January.
Of January. Okay. Yeah. So it's been about a month and a half.
Yeah.
And then when's your next trip scheduled? Do you guys sort of know or no? Not really.
Well, I get a break in service every year and it'll be at the same time. So if we come back down, it'll be in January again.
Very cool.
Unless we decide to move and somebody can help me get a job.
Yeah, I heard that from Gonzo once before. I'm like, but then again, I never gave him a resume either.
Right.
For you guys out there that are waiting on the vaccine, I had really good news today. I had lots of good news today. One is I applied for a Disney job, like I was telling Chris at the start of the stream, which I'm really excited about. And the other one is day after tomorrow, I have an appointment to get my first vaccine shot.
Well, of course, all the seniors
at
are
a
getting
Publix.
first.
I knew you were going to say that. It didn't have to say it's not that. I'm one of the under 55 ones, but you have to go through all this rigmarole of getting a special letter saying that you're more at risk and blah, blah, blah. But then at 6:30 this morning, I'm on my phone, like trying to get concert tickets. Come on. And I barely got it. And my wife was trying to get it too, and she didn't get them in time. But
like you're trying to get that reservation for Rise of the Resistance.
That is exactly what it reminded me of. Trying to get the vaccine this morning. It was like, and then the other thing is you can get it in any county too.
Right.
So I have mine at a Publix nearby in Kissimmee, which is like 30 minutes away from me.
Okay.
But my wife was there towards the end trying to get it. And she's looking at the map, trying to figure out, she would have driven to Miami. She would have driven or Tallahassee. She would have driven 5 hours away to get that. So interesting. Kadani Sean. I get my first shot on March 23rd.
I'm going to let you know the first shot's not bad. All right. I haven't had it, but my brother, my brother's younger than me, and he's already had his because he works with kids.
Right.
So he got a second one, and it was really bad. He was like freezing. He couldn't get warm.
No.
So
Don't
So
tell me that.
well, I'm just letting you know. So what to expect. I mean, I'm sure it affects everybody differently, but it really got him on the second one. My parents, my parents got a second one, and they're fine. So it might have just been him.
I just got the flu shot like a month ago, and I don't know if it was the flu shot. I got the flu shot, and then on the same day I had an infected tooth pulled, right?
Oh, wow.
And nobody, a lot of people don't realize is when you have deep cleaning and teeth pulled and stuff, a lot of bacteria is released into your system. Right. So if you get a vaccination that might smack you one, and you have something else like that, I ended up in the ER for a few hours with getting a bag of fluids in me until I could walk. And I'm like, what happened? And they're like, it beats the hell out of me. So I'm like, well, that's really great. All right. So lives in Indiana.
Yeah.
Grew up in Indiana.
In 2018, I found my biological parents.
Oh, really? And where do they live?
Less than 50 miles away. They're in the same county.
Wow.
Except for my biological mother. She, what it was in Indiana from a certain time, I think it was sometime in the 60s till the early 90s, all adoptions were sealed cases. You couldn't find out who your biological parents were or anything like that. And in 2016, Mike Pence, when he was our governor, signed a bill stating that they were going to release that information to adoptees, but he was going to wait 2 years to give biological parents that still didn't want to be found the chance to fill out a form and put it in there so that the adoptee still couldn't find out. So, so I filled out what I needed to find out my information. They told me it was going to be 6 to 12 weeks. Well, the volume was so big. I had to do it in July of 2017. Maybe it wasn't it was 2019. I found out 2017. I filled out my paperwork in July. I didn't get my paperwork back until April of 2019. And my biological mother passed away December 1st, 2018. So, but I found out I have 2 half brothers. I actually have a lot of because of my biological father. They actually told me who he was, and through him, there's like several others as well, but I have never met them. I've met my biological half brother, one of them. My other biological half brother lives in Nashville, Tennessee, and he is I don't want to say this. He is a special effects makeup artist and prop maker. And he's worked on movies such as Avatar, and he's worked with Spielberg. He's worked with
he
Tom
lives
Hanks.
in Did you say he lives in Nashville?
He used to live in California, him and his wife. And what it was they wanted to raise kids, and they didn't think that was the right lifestyle, them going on location different places. So he lives in Nashville now, where he works at a school that teaches what he does, but he still goes and does stuff for movies and does stuff like that every once in a while.
How long has he lived in Nashville?
Oh, Bob, I don't know. Like I said, I've talked to him a few times and I haven't heard anything from him for a while. So
you're going to, not now, but off to the side later, let me know what his name is, because one of the, like, I'm one of those guys that's done everything. Right. And for like a decade, I actually was a music video director in Nashville. So they had a small community there.
He actually was in Rolling Stone not too long ago.
Really?
For a band that he did stuff for a video. It's something Elephant. I never heard of him before. I can't remember.
Interesting.
But yeah. So yeah. And then I also found out my biological aunt just lived 2 blocks away from me.
Wow.
So
that's interesting about small towns and how people really don't move that far away. And
well, I meant that I was born in Indianapolis, so I thought she could be anywhere in the state. Indianapolis is basically in the center of the state, and then turns out she's. And the thing was, Bob, is I actually did meet her one time.
Prior to that, and you didn't know who she was?
I had a feeling. What it was, she worked at the shop. Well, what it was, I asked, do they have a picture of her? Yeah. And my one half brother his name's Todd. He sent me a picture of her. And when I seen her, I'm like, I've seen this woman before. And I said, hey, where has she worked? And he started naming places off, and he named the one store off. I'm like, that's it. And I remember going in there, and this is the only time anything like this ever went through my mind. I'm like, this woman could be my mother.
That's amazing.
And you just don't walk up to somebody.
That's like a Lifetime movie.
You don't just walk up to somebody and say something. Well, I was telling my biological aunt this, and she said, Chris, she said, Becky told me that she thought you walked into that store one day.
Oh my gosh.
And she said she believed that was you. And I said, well, maybe he'll go back. And she said that was the only time I've ever seen him in there. I never went in there. I only went in there one time because my wife wanted to go in, so I went in. So
wow. So converting from that, then a little bit of you to what exactly happened? When did this whole YouTube thing start up? I mean, so many people have different answers. One of the most common ones is makes sense is I wanted home movies.
Right.
So I wanted to, shoot this video, put it up on YouTube, and then share the link out to my relatives so they could see, our Disney trip.
Right. Let's see. This is my third attempt. So I actually have a channel that's up. There's nothing on it. I think I may have thrown something from this channel over on the other channel.
Right.
The very first channel I did has been completely erased.
Right.
And it was called This Patriot's Opinion. And it was just me going on about stuff that was going on in our country and in the world and what my opinion was of it.
Mm-hmm.
And, sometimes if you plan on certain kind of employment, people go and look for stuff. And I'm like, they might not like that. So I got rid of it. So I did that. Then I was doing video games on YouTube and Twitch. So I think I still have an account over on Twitch that has some old video game. It might not, because I think Twitch only keeps those for so long and then they get rid of them.
Let me go back for 1 second. I forgot to ask you. You've mentioned it a few times. You went to school for computer animation. You mentioned a few times.
Yeah.
What was the deal with that? I never really got any details about that. Every time I've mentioned I had a production background,
right.
That's always perked my interest when you've said that. So what was with that?
So I started going to an online school, and after, what was it? I had lost my job.
Right.
After I got back from Iraq. And so I started going to school for computer animation, and, I've always been a really good artist. I took art all through high school and everything like that. And, basically, I was going from job to job and everything and here's the thing, when it comes to factory work or any kind of manual labor, I just happen to be really good at it. All right. So my dad just sat me down one time, and he's like, me and your mom always thought you would just grow up to work for Disney. Well, so I was like, all right, well, you know what? Let's try this. So I started going to school and everything like that. And it was going to take me 3 years because I wasn't going to get any breaks. But we had some family issues. I had to take a break. And then when I came back, they allowed me to go on to the next one and pay for books and everything like that. And then they turned around and kicked me out because they said that they discontinued that program and I wasn't going to be able to get enough credits to finish. So
got it. Interesting.
So, but the best thing about it is with computer animation, you don't have to have a degree to get into that field, but you do have to have a very good reel. And I could go through and get self-taught if I really wanted to, but I was like, why not just take what I learned and apply it to YouTube? So
if you ever decide to get back into that, I have a real good buddy from my old days in Los Angeles, and he's worked his way up the ladder over the years, from being like a second unit cameraman on these low budget music videos that I used to do out there with local bands that would get them noticed by the managers would come up with a little money to hire me to make the music videos because they couldn't get the A&R people from the labels to come down to the clubs to see their new acts. And so I was the introduction. Of course, when they became big, like Guns N' Roses and stuff like that way back when, then of course, well, Bob's good, but we need somebody bigger. It's
Right.
like, whoa.
All right.
It's VP. What's going on? What's up, people?
Just
I'm
excuse
listening
me
while
just for a
working.
second, Bob. All right.
What? You're gonna drink?
No, I'm gonna take the sweatshirt off. I'm sweating.
Are you sweating?
Yeah.
What's up, people? Okay, take it off. Guns N' Roses are my band. I bet they are. Who's Michael's band, Krista? Tell me. Yeah, we should just do this. This is the Ball Guys show. That hat is so hot.
All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Bob's making Chris. You know, it is so weird. I have made some people nervous recently. However, I got to say, if Charlie Brown with a gray beard, goofy glasses, and an Indiana Jones hat makes you nervous, something else is making you nervous, because it certainly can't be me. I mean, come on. I'm the least intimidating person on the face of the earth. All right. So how did you started telling me, and I interrupted you. How did the YouTube channel start coming together?
Okay. So basically, my wife and I, we were watching a lot of Tim Tracker, Adam the Woo, and everything like that. And the idea came with, oh, this looks easy. Heck, I can do it. And I started doing it. And I'm like, wow, this is just like everything. You got to put a lot of work into it. But I really like doing it. And, you know, the thing is I don't know who said it, but if you love something you do, you'll never work a day in your life. So, but a lot of times, you know, and what I love about delivering the mail is I'm by myself. I can do a lot of thinking, as long as I don't miss a package. I got to remember the number that package goes to. I can come up with so many ideas of different things to do for of course, you know, YouTube, for videos and stuff like that. We weren't exactly Disney YouTubers when we started out. We're still not, but the pandemic kind of pushed us into, I mean, we did Disney stuff, but we did other stuff, but it kind of pushed us into being Disney full time. So
cool. Before I go past this, Katrina wants to know how you found Gonzo.
Okay, well, and able to tell you the story of how I found Gonzo, I have to tell you how I found the Disney community. So
are we gonna have to go back to the birth of the Puerto Rican Christ?
No.
Is that the
No. So I basically was with a group of people
Katrina.
that I think I'm the only one who still live streams regularly compared to them.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple of them, either the work schedule got in the way, or somebody felt like what was that called that was scaring everybody when you had to mark your program not for kids.
Oh, the Kappa rules.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that scared the other person out. She still posts every once in a while, but I don't see her very often. And then
I still put a warning in my descriptions at the end for every video. Just because.
So I was like trying to find other Disney YouTubers. So I come across this live stream one night, and it's called Disney Friends.
Right.
And at that time it was Jeff from Dole Whip Dad, and it was Gonzo. Mm-hmm. And it happened to be the night that the whole H2O thing happened. With the argument over water.
Don't even go there.
So I just became a regular. I don't know if most people know. A lot of times I give funny remarks in the chat and everything like that. But that's one thing I like about you, Chris. You remind me of me a lot in that you give a lot of funny remarks in the chat, and you think that your remarks are funnier than everyone else, just like I do. So it makes me laugh at your remarks even more so. I think the funniest thing I ever put in a chat, it had to do with, I wasn't in the live stream, of course, and I'd been live streaming with Gonzo.
Right.
But he had a show that he was doing on, well, I think he still does it on Sunday mornings, that he does with Al and the Robe, and they were talking about Animal Kingdom. And the Robe says, I hope this is all right for me to say. He doesn't like
keep it clean, buddy boy.
He doesn't like Animal Kingdom because it smells like orangutans. How do you want to say it? Boys. How's that? When you walk in there.
Orangutan's junk.
Yes.
There you go.
And I commented, I said, they must have that smell piped in because they don't have orangutans at animal kingdom.
I was gonna say, what? All in your imagination, buddy.
So,
well, wait a second. If he's always in that robe, maybe he's smelling something more to home.
But what it was I was watching one Sunday. Gonzo contacted me and said, "Hey, why weren't you on the show?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? I was in the chat. Didn't you see me?" And he goes, "No, when you coming on?" I'm like, and I'm like, I think I know what he's saying, but I'm not going to invite myself onto a show. So I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he says, "Hey, do you want to come on and be our guest?" He's like, "Do you want to come on and be our guest next Sunday?" So I went on. I was their guest and everything like that. And then I guess it went really well and they liked me. And then he contacted me and said, "Hey, we're going to be doing a live stream on Thursdays. We're going to start back up. We're going to start up Disney Friends again."
Right.
And we wanted to know if you want to be on there with me and Al. And yep, I ended up on there with him and Al, and I've been live streaming with Gonzo ever since. So
cool. Yeah. You guys seem to get along.
Right.
I think that's a good chemistry because you let him have control,
right,
and you don't get audacious like me.
The only time he loses control is if me and VP are in there. That's about the time.
Well, that's another thing too. I had that disastrous sort of stream, and it was because it was like 20 people plus me plus my goofy stuff.
Right.
So I usually do the goofy stuff when it's like you and me and goofy stuff.
Right.
So I was like, I wasn't even in the damn thing. If you look back at that, I took myself out.
Right.
And just moved stuff around. And I was like, people are like, you're like interrupting people midstream. But I'm like, yeah, but I'm looking at Chris's sad face. And it looks like he wants to be in there.
Well, I mean, the other thing is you also got to think, all right, so we're talking about in that stream, you had some very large personalities.
What?
Yeah. So when you get that many large personalities together, it's kind of hard to control. So,
well, I do have to admit that.
I mean, you're not Phil Jackson from the Chicago Bulls trying to control the egos of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, and Dennis Rodman.
there are some people that will tell you, I won't name names, but some very well-known YouTubers in our community, and you won't see them get on a lot of group streams with like several people in it. Right. And it's because they know they have larger personalities and people cross-talk across each other. Yeah. And a lot of people end up just sitting there like this.
Right.
So I actually have to remind myself because I saw a still frame somebody took.
Right.
And it was like these three people that were large personalities talking a lot. And then a few other people like you and me and somebody else. And we were all sitting there with our mouths open like this. And you don't realize everybody's watching you, like when we do the Clone Wars.
Right.
Thing.
Right.
It's like, you got to be conscious. People are looking at my blank. Somebody's like, "What's with the face, Bob?" I'm like, I'm into the show. I'm
like Kelly coming in on that and not knowing what's going on. Yeah.
Right. So I purposely try to keep my teeth on the bottom of my lip.
Right.
So interesting. So the channel, you had a few channels. I had a few channels too. You had 3 channels when you started, you said?
Yeah. Well, I didn't have 3 channels when I started this channel. I had 1 channel. And then I went to a video game channel. So the 2 were kind of at the same time.
Got it.
And then I got rid of the 1 channel. The video game channel, it was just, if anybody knows anything about trying to get into the gaming part, it's so saturated that you're just lucky if you can make it into it. So I was just like, this isn't going to work. So, but I was like, you know what? I can't be the Tim tracker.
Sorry.
That's all right. But I was like, I can't be the Tim tracker, which I don't want to be one of these guys. But what
Wait,
Adam,
hold on a second. Hold on.
yeah.
What do you mean by that? And not everybody
All right.
understands. What do you
So,
mean I can't be the Tim Tracker?
I
Who's
live
Tim
in
Tracker and what do you mean?
I live in Indiana.
Right.
All right. So there's no, I mean, we have amusement parks, of course, but the closest one I live to is called Kings Island over in Cincinnati.
Right.
And they don't allow you to record on rides. But
really? They don't?
Yeah. No, it had to do with someone recording a ride with a cell phone and it flying out and coming back and hitting somebody and putting a gash in their head, and they just put it into all recording on all rides. So but Adam the Woo, who would go and do interesting things, and I still like watching Adam the Woo. He's really interesting, which is funny, is because his sister don't live very far away from me. But
and he's living here now, I guess. I guess he moved from the West Coast over to here.
Last time I knew, his sister didn't live very far away from me.
Interesting.
But we just started going, because we live right on the state line, we just started doing things in Indiana and Ohio, just showing people, hey, you know, you hear people saying, we ain't got nothing to do this weekend. Well, we go, hey, let me go show you what we have to do. Probably one of my funnest things was, well, we did a few, and then Heaven went down for the Disney College program.
Right.
Then my wife and I went into overtime at the factory we worked, and there for almost a year, there was nothing going on our channel.
Wow.
And then I brought it back, and probably one of the funnest things we ever we went to Alexandria, Indiana, where they have the largest ball of paint. And we painted
the largest ball of paint.
The largest ball of paint. And we went in there, Haley, and Margie, and we got to paint one layer over it. So for about 10 minutes, we held the world record, because before we were leaving, somebody else was coming in to paint it.
Kelly, I should do that. And guess what Bob and Chris are saying? They're having their own stream off to the side. Interesting. And then you started Addy Family Adventures.
No, the ball of paint and everything was Addy Family Adventures.
Oh, it was. So when was the first video plopped down on Addy Family Adventures?
It would have been in, I think, 2017.
Okay.
And we went.
So it's been a few years then.
Yeah, we went to Kokomo, Indiana. And we went to see the world's largest sycamore stump and the world's largest steer. So,
and then when did that started involving Disney trips? Were you guys Disney fans for a long time, or did it?
What was funny, before we went into that hiatus, I was kind of giving hints that we were going to go to Disney World. And we did go to Disney World. We just didn't record anything.
There you go.
So, I mean, we've always been a Disney family. My mom, I mean, I did a video on my mom's house where almost every room in the house is Disney. It's either Disney, Las Vegas, Dollywood, or where else do they go? Oh, Myrtle Beach. So that's about it. But so I showed all that. My aunt, she goes down to Walt Disney World at least once a month, and she only goes for a day.
Katrina's making fun of you, how you pronounce words.
Yes,
does somebody from Indiana have... Wait. Let me ask you a question, Katrina. You're tight with Gonzo. You talk to him a lot. Do you find it hard to understand Chris, but you don't find it hard understanding Gonzo? That's something I would like to know. That's a personal Bob thing. Here's the link to Chris's first video. And so what video is that one?
That is, we go to Kokomo for the largest sycamore stump. And here's the thing, it's horrible. That's all there is to it.
How bad could it be?
We look like we're scared to death. But it's not as bad as, I think, number 3. It was a part 1. There'll never be a part 2. I'm going to tell you that much right now. And even VP's been hounding me because he watched it and said, I need a part 2. I'm like, there's not going to be a part 2.
Oh, that's what he's talking about? Now I get it. Okay.
No, this was another video, but
so say the word orange.
Orange.
So what's so bad?
It has to do with OBS, and I think I need to update the drivers on my camera.
Okay. No, not the gray, the orange. I didn't hear anything weird in your pronunciation of orange.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is they tell me when I talk, it sounds funny, but I have a Midwestern accent if I have an accent. All right. And that's usually what everybody, this is what everybody shoots for in Hollywood is a Midwestern accent.
Walt.
So if you can't understand me, then maybe.
Oh my God. Help me. Thank you, Griswold. That's making me laugh. Okay. So,
wait, oh, you're talking about are you talking about when Heaven and I stream and I try to say the food stuff? Yeah, because I don't know how to pronounce them. That's why that's funny.
You sound the same as I do. Yeah, because you're sort of,
I know how to say fajita. I said fajitas just for fun.
You said fajitas?
Yes. I can't. Right. I think we was on a stream with Becky from Midlife Vibes and everything. And I said, well, I'm just all American. I always go into those places and order chicken fajitas with extra jalapenos. So,
oh my God. So if you were to give us an overview of your channel, if I had one of my dogs or one of my friends or something that could speak a little English, kind of like Gonzo. Yeah.
I understand Gonzo. I don't know what the problem is.
They never saw YouTube before. Just somebody who's never seen YouTube. My grandmother or something like that. How would you describe your channel? What type of shows do you have? What's your programming like?
We're just family oriented. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, Social Blade says we're a people channel. So.
Okay. But do you have regular shows like you have the show that's going to follow this? And so what shows do you have in terms of programming? What's your week look like?
All right. So on Mondays, I usually release a reaction video, and that's where I go and I try to find like Disney rides I've never seen, and then I react to them. So anything outside of Walt Disney World, more than likely, I've never seen it. And unless I've already done a reaction video to it, and obviously I've seen it.
Right.
But so I do that kind of stuff, and sometimes a lot of stuff that I'm reacting to, most people they've never seen it either. Right. So, and I do have the one guy, he's from Mexico. His name's Ricardo, and greatest guy. He always comments on everything. I would love to meet him sometime. And he kind of found me through the reaction videos. And the bad thing is I'd love for him to see stuff from Disney World, but I can't react to something I've already seen.
Right.
So
cool. Hey, Dean, follow the happy. How are you? Dee Marie has returned, putting the kids to bed. Socks, Kadani Sean is here. He's got a great DV show. Check out his channel. Katrina's reminding us that following this show, Addy Family Adventures, Chris right here, has a watch party for Clone Wars, which I think, did you send me a link? Did you want me to be there? I don't know.
I haven't yet. So.
Okay. But I'll come because it's nice. I can just not go anywhere. I just sit here and keep the lights on. And oh my, what kind of a stream is this? There's no pies. There's no bad jokes. Nobody's getting insulted. It's just two bald white guys talking boring talk for you. Okay. I find it very interesting.
Yeah. What most people hate, they want some diversity in here, and you get two bald white guys. I mean, that's not happening.
Most of the time it's diverse. This is weird. I can't remember. I think the last one that was Walt from Mass Talk, maybe.
Oh, really?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but if you and I take our hats off, everybody thinks we might be having a skinheads meeting here.
Do it. Like I was saying, oh no, we don't do it. Then they're gonna
we're gonna act out American History X.
I know they're gonna hate it. We're gonna get all these comments about oh no, I'm not even gonna joke about it. Okay, so
you were asking me about the channel, so my schedule. Yeah. All right,
yeah.
So of course I have that, and of course you guys know everything I do with Gonzo.
Right.
I've really found I like doing shorts. So I got Heaven sending me shorts. I've tried to make shorts, everything like that. Heaven seems to be more successful than me, but I try. Let's see, Wednesday we did a show earlier because usually we stream over you, but I think we're going to end up leaving it at 8 because I think we did really good on numbers for 8 o'clock.
Cool.
So we don't stream over you, Bob. All right.
Oh, well,
I didn't even know you were streaming at the same time until Katrina said something to me. But
Katrina's trying to help out. Katrina's trying to get me to move dates and stuff like that.
Well, see, I told her I would move, but Heaven's on there, and that's like one of the only days she has off.
Yeah.
So obviously we do Sweets and Treats where we talk about Disney merchandise, we talk about Disney food, Disney snacks, everything like that. And then of course I have the Jedi Council where Gonzo and I usually talk about Star Wars, but we've been doing the watch parties here lately.
Right.
And then on Thursdays we do Hanging with the Family where it's just Margie, Heaven, and I. And we just talk about anything Disney. I think this week we're talking about the Magical Express and Magic Bands. So, but and one more thing.
Yeah, what's that?
We're giving this away for our 500 subscriber giveaway tomorrow.
I wish that I had a drum roll that I could put in to here right now. I'm working on a mixing board. But
if you want to know how to get into that, go back to the video I put out. AFA 500 subscriber giveaway. All you got to do is be subscribed, have subscribers on public so we can see that you're subscribed, give a thumbs up, and comment what your favorite Disney character is. That's it.
Very nice.
Go ahead.
Very nice. No. That's good. That's good.
All
You're
right.
taking cues from. Oh, see, Katrina said Bob's xylophone. I was going to bust out the little kid's xylophone to, but now, excited for tomorrow. I guess she didn't get the memo. Nothing, sweet cheeks. So I think your channel's real unique. I think you're unique, but in your own words, how are you unique? And if you think that you are, your channel, that is.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I just try to do what I think, I look for something that I would find entertaining. And I figure that's the way to find other people that obviously would find the same kind of entertaining stuff as I do. I mean, I happened to got on a kick where I was watching reaction videos for a long time. I'm like, I have never seen anybody do reaction videos to Disney rides or anything like that.
Right.
So I started doing it. Probably when we go to Disney World, some of my favorite videos has nothing to do with a ride. It's always with my family and us eating, like going to breakfast or something like that. And I think that's right there. That's the time when you get to see us just having a good time and everything. Yeah. And one of the best videos I had for that, we was at the Garden Grill. And Mickey come out and was telling us about the chocolate ganache. And he was telling us that it was going on everything except for eggs. So we were trying bacon. I never had chocolate and bacon before together. So it to me, it almost it covered up the bacon taste. So my wife doesn't like bacon. Right. So my daughter Heaven looks at her and says, maybe you ought to try your sausage link in this. And she goes, ew. I thought it was a really good video. And that's why I like. I love when we get together and just sit down and eat and record. I think that's one of the best things.
The special moments that may or may not have anything to do with what you think it might. Yeah.
Right.
Interesting. Yeah, I agree. That's some of the most special moments I've ever had at Disney World were not where people, think it's going to be.
Right. And then like my last live stream, I mean, when I can get Heaven, she comes on and shows what she's bought. She just gets laughing so hard. And it's just, it's almost like, do I even need to be here? It's like,
I feel that all the time.
Yeah. So, but I get joy out of seeing her get so happy and excited about stuff. So,
wow, that's cool. So, since that first video, I guess it was in 2017, was it? Was that the first Addy video in 2017?
I'd have to
2018?
It might have been 2018. I'm not
All right.
sure.
So say whenever it was, since that
Yeah.
first Addy Family video with that you were stumped on, till the last one that you just did, how do you think your channel has evolved? You know, a
Well,
lot
like
of people can't really see it until they look back and go, "Wow, that sucks."
I mean, like I
But
said, we've kind of been pushed into being a Disney Channel because of the pandemic.
right.
Really, even if I could get out to go and do stuff right now,
Mhm.
a lot of places are still not open. So,
Right.
like places like that. I mean, there's one place I'd like to go up here in Ohio. I can't remember the name of it, but they have the Shawshank Trail up there, and
Ah,
Shawshank Redemption. They have the prisons up there and
yep.
everything. And I've been wanting to go up there. Obviously, I can't finish the trail because it ends down in the Virgin Islands.
Right.
But most of it was filmed up here in Ohio.
Right.
I was telling Kelly the other day because she said she was coming up and going to be near Evansville. In Evansville, they have the external, what the house for Roseanne looks like. It's right there in Evansville.
Oh, really?
So, yes. They also have a ballpark not too far away from there where they shot A League of Their Own, some of the stuff from A League of Their Own. And I just like going and doing that kind of stuff. I like going and see educational stuff, especially like stuff on history and all kinds of stuff. So
very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I've actually told, because especially with the pandemic and, you know, not going out as much and things like that. Amy from AJC Magic TV, you know, she's just been driving into Pittsburgh where she lives and driving through farmlands and little train depots and stuff. And, you know, she kind of liked it, but was thinking, well, nobody wants to see this. And I told her, I find it mesmerizing that you're driving through little Pennsylvania Dutch type towns. And, you know, it's like, please play it. You know, I might not watch every single second, you know, but yeah, I love hearing stuff like that.
It's funny you talk about that when you start talking about stuff like that. Do you remember a TV show called Newhart?
Yeah, of course.
You remember how it started? Was the car driving through Vermont and everything until they got to the end? Yeah, that's what I thought of when you said that. So
interesting. Yeah, I remember how it ended too, which is one of the there were a few twists. There was St. Elsewhere all being within a snow globe, and the head doctor was really a janitor and everything, and there was Newhart really being in the previous show.
Right.
Interesting. Wow. And this is the toughest one to kind of wrap this up at 10.
Wow, we're already at an hour.
I know. I could talk to you forever. You're such a nice guy. It's hard. This is hard for anything, and we're all hoping for the best. But the future is something we haven't been able to look at all. But what is the future for you and the channel sort of looking like? And particularly the channel, if you had to guess, do you see the channel going somewhere else or evolving in some other direction if you and I sat down and talked this time next year?
You know what, Bob? I'm just the bull rider. All right. I just go where the bull goes.
Are you the clown in front of the bull? Or are you the I see myself as the clown in front of the bull.
That's it. I mean, you know, the thing is I'm here, you know, I'm here just like you to entertain people. Right. I'll do whatever, you know, they want to see me do within reason. Right. But I mean, you know, I'm allergic to erythromycin. I'm not going to sit here because you think it'd be great to watch me just do a whole bottle of erythromycin. I'm not going to do that.
No. Don't do that.
Or
don't do that.
Sit here and pet a cat because I'm allergic to them too. I'm not doing
That's not good. No, don't do that. Yeah. Whatever you do.
So,
well, interesting. I hope when you do get down here that I do get a chance to see you.
Yeah.
So many people, there's so many people that are coming down to the parks for like spring break. Right. That I am making I got online the other day to talk about where my channel's going. And basically I'm not going to be doing as many lots of people streams.
Right.
And I'm going to do more park streams instead. And more goofy little vlogs.
Right.
Because I like doing that stuff.
I actually did you know, I heard you talking about doing short films and everything like that.
Yeah.
I actually did a short film. I was going to do a series, but of course the pandemic messed that up. But what my wife's family does, we do this thing called Secret Santa, but it's not just for Christmas. It's all year long.
Really?
Right. So it's like, matter of fact, I just had my name here just a little bit ago. I hope I don't lose it. I know who he is. Anyhow, so it's like for their birthday, you send them a gift, and and they don't know who you are.
Right.
But it helps you get to know a family member, each family member different each year.
Right.
So I put out this, I was gonna do this whole entire series called The Hunt for Secret Santa. I got one done, and it was with my father-in-law, and it's basically me yelling at, and the thing, when we did this, he was laughing so hard because we've never screamed at each other. I think me and my father-in-law only had one disagreement the whole time he was alive, and it wasn't even that's all it was a disagreement. We disagreed not to agree, but and then he cursed, and I'm like, Charlie, you can't curse in a video. So, but what it was I'm yelling at him, "Who's my Secret Santa?" He goes, "I wouldn't tell you even if I know." I'm like, "I know you know," and everything like that. And then it shows me jumping up and going over, and it goes black, but you hear me slapping.
Oh no!
So, I did it all in black and white and everything like that. Had like the mood and everything. I thought I did a really good job at it. And my father-in-law, he passed away in December, and it turned out the old man was my secret Santa.
Oh no.
Yeah. So, I'm sure he was laughing so hard after we did that video. I'm pretty sure.
Oh gosh.
So,
wow.
But yeah, I admit that I thought that was one of the greatest things, because I called it The Hunt for Secret Santa. I actually took our channel colors and made it look like with my face, like what the cover of The Hunt of Red October looked like, and everything like that. Yeah. So,
is it on there now? It's on the channel?
it's on
I gotta go. I gotta go check that out.
Yeah.
Everybody go over to Addy Family Adventures and check out The Hunt for Secret Santa.
Yeah.
So those are the ones that disappear. They disappear on my channel whenever I do something like that. They're like, "I've never seen that on your channel." I'm like, you gotta look a little bit, because only 30 people have watched it. So, search.
Yeah. Now, probably one of the videos that we had success with right away was like our 4th video. We went to Milan, Indiana, and we went to the museum of the 1954 Indiana State basketball champions.
Mm-hmm.
And who they are the team that is their Hoosiers is loosely based on that team.
Oh.
And they do have there at the museum, they do have a lot of the movie memorabilia, but then they have all the stuff from the regular stuff. And then right next to them, they have 100-year-old barbershop.
Really?
That they own. Yeah. And it was really neat. And we just did really well with that video. So
there it is. The Hunt for Secret Santa.
Yep. Check
it out right there. And then leave a comment and tell Chris how funny it was, or how whatever it is. Give him some input for his next wacky little film.
I actually after I filmed it, because I also did something with my mother-in-law, right? After I was done with my father-in-law, but at the very end, I'm standing there. I'm like, I just want you to know, nobody was hurt. I'm not beating up or on old
when you
people.
Have to do a disclaimer for injuries, That's funny. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Oh yeah.
It's been a pleasure, and obviously I'll see you around.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll send you a link for the party. Yeah.
Yeah. Right after this at 10:30 and 21 minutes, go on over to Addy Family Adventures and check out the Jedi Council, which tonight is it the 3rd party?
This is episode 1 or season 1, episode 4.
Mm-hmm.
And it's called Malevolence, or Destroy Malevolence.
See, you got to say that word some more. You thought you were out. There's a ship called Malevolence, and he was
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
looked like he was trying to pronounce it and eat bananas at the same time.
It's getting to the point where I can say it because I think it was Maru actually made it out for me, so it was easy for me to say it. But I used to have a problem saying aluminum. So one time.
What were you, one of those aluminium people?
No, I wasn't even like that. I just had a hard time saying aluminum. So
interesting. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. It was very non-chaotic. I hope you noticed. It was very slow and even pace. Like we were just sitting here having a drink, even though one of us was faking it. And he fessed up. And I was going to fake it too, actually. That's why they were saying I couldn't open the bottle. I was going to take a vodka bottle and I was going to put a whole bunch of water in it.
Right.
And then just kind of. But now I don't have to do that. See, this is all honest. Bob, Mike yelled, thank you. You're welcome, Mike. Have a good night. Some people have a hard time saying mirror. Say mirror.
Me? Yeah. Mirror?
Mirror. Oh, mirror. Support one about. Oh, thank you, T. Marie. What? There's another one. Oh, some people have a hard time saying, I think it's an Appalachian sort of thing. Syrup. Yeah, they say SERP.
Yeah, I've heard that.
Like SRP. Yeah, right. That I've heard. Some weird stuff. That's what I told Chris to do, Bob. Oh, okay. Thank you. All right. Good night, everybody. See you real soon. Thank you, Chris. I'll see you real soon. Why? Right. Because we like you. Anything else you want to say to the stream before I hit the button?
No, I mean, keep watching me, Bob, and all my friends. And the thing is, if you don't know where my friends are, if you look at my description, I have all their links to the channel. So of any live stream or video I do. So
very good. All right, Chris, take care. Good night.
Good night.
And we are out of here.
Awesome.